Jag hoppas jag har ljud. Så, då springer vi bort till nästa ställe då. Till nästa uppdrag som vi ska göra.
If you're wondering why there's no one around, it's because the reserve is officially closed to visitors for the foreseeable future. And definitely conducting emergency field research, we said. If that's what it takes to get the day trippers to clear out for a hot minute, so be it. I swear I haven't seen this place so deserted in about 10 years. Ah, it's lovely, actually. Even if I can only experience it through you. We used to camp out here when I was little. Tramp over from the other side. Me and a gaggle of other kids carrying backpacks bigger than our whole bodies. Not much of that lifestyle left these days. I miss it sometimes.
Jag ska fotografera ett träd.
Don't fall in now. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened to you.
Och de här uppdragen, de görs på Nya Zeeland-banan, alltså nyaste världen som har kommit till PS4.
That'll do. It's looking well. We had some hoon try to saw off one of the branches a few weeks ago. Can you believe? Well, luckily someone managed to talk him out of it. Sometimes wedding parties will have the brides come up and sit on it. Wade right into the water and soak those dear dresses. That tree is 80 years old. Started off as a stray branch nailed to a fence. It's a tribute to tenacity, if you ask me. Right, now for our next destination. Head down to the shoreline. There's a set of huge boulders there that have to be seen to be believed. I know what you're thinking. She's showing me some rocks. But trust me on this one. Our beaches are buzzing with natural activity.
Jag har ju kört multiplayer på honom, det är ju därför jag är lite skjutet på honom.
You get more and more rubbish washed up all over the place lately. You know, bits of plastic pellets, runoff from factories further north. I swear I've seen tin cans with Australian brand names. We do our best, but we can't always prevent the poor critters ending up with junk in their bellies. Anyway, that's the situation. I'll get back to you when you arrive. Just gonna head off for a minute and make some tea.
Låter som att jag laggar. Vilket jag inte gör. Du, han rörde sig inte ur fläcken, den där jäveln. Han vet inte ens. Han vart rädd och stack, men han vart han med fan men inte skadad. Ja. Vi joggar ner dit neråt och gör uppdrag. Det vi ska hålla på med sånt.
That's better. Nothing like a good old Kiwi herbal blend to sort the head out.
Se, jag har inte satt ett tält här. Vilket jag inte har gjort heller, utan det här är något sånt där tält som de har tagit ut själv.
Oh, well, look at this. Couldn't help themselves, could they? One last hurrah before we shut the place down. This really can't wait, mate. There's a little blue penguin population nesting not far from here, and they'll gladly take this for food. Okay, that looks manageable. Let's clean this up and take the photo. Then we can talk hunting again. Well, as you can imagine, being featured in a host of box office hits has done wonders for our profile with tourists. Problem is, a lot of the people who come are just here to take a few photos, dump a heap of rubbish, and then leave unceremoniously. So we end up with messes like this one. I'd like to say that we've become the victim of our own success, but that's letting me off the hook. Right, there should be a stand over on the other end of the beach with rubbish bags and a picker.
Hi. Ingen på kolla. Någon annan fört type den här då. Ser det ut som. Åh helvete. Nej, han hade inte annan. Det såg ut det som det är ifrån långt avstånd. Folk undrar vad köper han ingen ammunition eller så? Där är det. Jag vill inte köpa ammunition. Jag ska köpa en bössa. Jag ska köpa för att kunna skjuta eller för att testa på en annan bössa. Jag är lite osäker vilken det kommer bli, men det kommer bli någon av bössorna i alla fall. Om det blir 300 eller någon annan, det vet jag inte. Men det kommer komma skall vad som sker.
We went to all the trouble of installing these and they still couldn't be bothered. Looks like they had quite the little feast. These kids would have nightmares if you showed them some of what I've seen out here. Birds with stomachs so full of plastic they can't eat. Yeah, leave them over by the stand. South Island University. I knew it. Way too many people around here who have never respected this place. That's a perfectly usable tent. No sense wasting it. Anyway, I've had enough of this. And we need to ensure that we're attracting the right kinds of tourists. Not just day trippers from Christchurch out on their school holidays. It's okay for people to come here and leave no trace. But it'd be better if we could rely on them to help us with our conservation goals. So hunters seem like the natural target audience. Our deer and goat populations need constant culling. And you better believe I've more faith in people who love the wilderness to respect the place than kids up to no good. At the risk of sounding like an old fusspot. Speaking of, let's do what we came to do and grab that photo.
Leave and the stand. Photograpera the boulders. By boulders. Men jag tycker jag har
Lovely use of lighting. I may have to hire you to help out on my next book project, if I ever finish the current one. There's a lot of theories about where these boulders came from. Volcanic activity, lightning, even aliens. I've heard them all over the years. The boffins will tell you they were formed over 60 million years ago on the sea floor, like pearls.
complete mission.
That's not the whole story.
Storm mission. Jag håller på
When
med
people
det.
first arrived in New Zealand, they took their staple crop with them,
Så jag kan
kumara,
göra alla jävla
otherwise
uppdrag.
known as sweet potato. Unfortunately for them, the weather in this part of the country isn't exactly conducive to growing much, and the tubers withered and died. So they sent word to the Polynesian homeland, and a canoe set sail with a hardier crop. But it was caught in an intense storm just off the east coast. Each wave that struck it was so large that it made a new hill. Those are the ones you'll see further inland, and all of the cargo went overboard. And that's what these boulders are. Petrified kumara, eel baskets, calabashes. The canoe itself formed the reef further up. Moral of the story? Things have long shelf lives. A lesson I wish someone had taught those kids. Right, feeling warmed up? Good. It's time for you to show me what you can do. Camera on? Then you should have everything you need. I got Josh to set it up. He told me to tell you that it's state-of-the-art, equipped with Wi-Fi, so any footage you grab is automatically uploaded to our server. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I guess I'll be able to see it on here. No pressure then. There's good hunting in the whole of this area, from up around where you cleared out the props earlier to closer to the beach. Take your pick. But just one thing. We want it to show up nice on camera, so no minnows. Try for something at least 30 kg. The larger the better. Should be no problem for a hotshot like you. No word back from our friends in Hollywood regarding the props, by the way. My guess is that some townie thought it'd be a hoot to grab them for their crib. But I'm not keen on the idea of someone wandering around when we're supposed to be closed to visitors. Anyway, nothing you need to worry about right now. Just focus on those killer shots.
Okej. Betyder det alltså att jag kan jaga överallt? Det borde det ju göra, för att jag får ju ingen plats jag måste vara på, om jag säger så. Då är det bara alltså att gå och söka efter ett spår och se om vi kan hitta ett spår och skjuta det och se vad som händer, helt enkelt. Eller så stannar man bara till och så lockar man oss på... Sätter man sig och försöker locka på djur. Det så behöver vi inte ens det, för jag tror att vi hade hittat ett djur, men det var en buske. Ja, jag tar fram lockare och piper lite då. Ja. Här kanske vi har ett djur som väger 50. Ja, jo fan. Och trottat däremot så han ju very old. Mm. We're very old på det här också. Där är nog samma gäng. I bak. Tyvärr. Teleportera oss till den stugan så ska vi gå ner mot vattnet bara på den där högersidan. För där har vi ett ställe som vi kan kolla om vi har djur på, vilket jag tror att vi har. Och jag tror att de ligger på över 30 kilo, de som är på den sidan. Jag ska inte säga säkert. Men om jag fattat uppdraget rätt så ska man alltså ha västa ett djur på över 30 kilo. Vad är det jag ser? Jag såg en 4 dessutom, därför sköt jag mig med 243 för att få kanske en trophy på den dessutom. Men hörni, vill ni att jag fortsätter med TheHunter så får ni gärna kommentera det. Annars är det ju ingen vits att jag håller på med det om ni ändå inte vill att jag ska fortsätta med det. Då kommer jag ju som sagt sluta med det, då kommer jag ju inte hålla på. Men många har ju tjatat om att få se TheHunter på den här kanalen. På det viset så kör jag TheHunter. Non-vital organ hit. Ja. Ibland så lyras den så att vi får se. Och då får jag ju liksom, jag njuter ju av att köra själv för att jag kan sitta så här och bara liksom prata, och när jag inte har någonting att prata så springer jag bara runt och jagar, och ni får se det. Sen kan jag ju även klippa ihop bilderna så att det blir som en eller klippa ihop filmer snarare allt. Lägga det som en
Not to worry. We'll fix that one up in the editing process. A lot of people around here think that hunting's heyday peaked in the 70s and 80s. Back when you'd get scores of daredevils out in helicopters gunning down deer 3 at a time. That's not the done thing anymore, for a whole host of reasons. But these days we need hunters more than ever. And I'm glad I have you on board to help us show the world that.
aha. Up close
You've got a
and
fan here,
personal.
what? Josh gave me a hand posting some footage from your hunt to the reserve chat group, and it caught the eye of our resident sharpshooter, Melanie Murphy.
Kan teleportera mig
Melanie's
till
the one who taught me to
den
hunt.
har jag.
She's retired now, but back in the day she worked out on those helicopters with the best, or worst of them.
I know.
Tough as
Jag
nails
vet,
and
det är
with
för
a
att
sharp
ska
tongue to
teleportera
boot.
sig.
Get to the outpost. There should be a
Stugan.
battery pack on the table. We were a small community of outsiders living in
Men
sync
jag
with
måste ju.
nature. No running water and only whatever electricity our generator could provide. We had a bit of a falling out 25 years ago. One of the choppers came down with us in it. So I injured my leg. People from down in the local town used to call it a hippie. Then my leg started acting up again. I've never liked the term. Nice to have the help. It was about sustainable living first and foremost. We weren't just there to not shower and sing Kumbaya all day.
Kumbaya,
But we should never have taken off that day, and Melanie knew it.
Kumbaya,
So when I say the place is part of me,
kumbaya.
I mean it.
Jag tänker
Mum's
så här,
family can
att
trace
vi
their
tar en
lineage here to the
4-åring.
14th century, and we've accumulated a lot of stories over the years. These days we're cordial to each other, but not much else. Some of those are about an animal that holds a special place in my heart. Parkia, I mean European settlers, released moose here about 100
I
years ago.
nuläget har jag inte råd
And
att
there
köpa
haven't been
någon
any
bössa.
confirmed sightings since the 1950s.
Jag funderar på att antingen köpa
Anyway, my
den
mum
här
always told me to let bygones be bygones and
eller
all that.
köpa
Melanie's a better hunter than I'll ever
300.
be, advanced age
Men
notwithstanding. So I'll do my best to
jag
pass
vet
on whatever I've learned from her gratis. You're welcome. But I swear to you, I saw one when I was little, staring straight at me over hazy morning mist. Ever since then, I've been determined to prove that they're still here. Right, what is that? Sorry to ask you, but I need you to do me a favour. No, it's not more cleaning up, don't worry. Get to the outpost I've marked on your hunter mate and I'll explain on the way. Even written a book about it. Or a variety of books about it, I should say. I can't give it the conclusion it serves yet. the river. Just a little further up there. Cheers. That should keep it going for another few years. Can you check the other cameras while you're here? Might give you some stalking suggestions, if nothing else.
Ska ringa och fixa de här fotokamerorna tydligen. Så sitter uppe här. Så jag ska, eller plocka ner dem i alla fall. Undrar om man får dem. Eller vem fan är med vet.
Now when something shows up on these, 9 times out of 10 it's a stray deer.
Oj. 20.01.12 10.02. Camera 2 fick vi en sån där på. Aha.
Between these little fellas and that props list, Christmas has come early this year.
Då kanske det är en bra turkeyplats det här då. Kan jag jaga turkey på. A flock of turkeys. Lock och se. God dag med en turkey här.
There's our missing props. But who? I don't honestly mind someone getting some use out of them as long as we're not deemed responsible. But that's a big bloody truck. There's no driving of anything larger than an ATV permitted in the reserve. Don't see any tracks, do you? Must have been a few days ago at the earliest. License plate's pretty clear at least. I'll do some detective work and let you know. I don't suppose you packed any swing togs, eh? Well, not to worry. Getting to our next destination involves a bit of spelunking. But a flashlight and some waterproof boots should be all you need. Head to the cave I've marked on your hunter, mate. Unless you'd rather climb over those mountains. No? Didn't think so.
Där uppe har inte jag någon stuga. Vad roligt. Ja, vad kul. Då får jag ta fyrhjuling. Får jag dit. Redan haft live i en timme. Känns som vi bara haft... Jag ska börja på 2 innan vi fortsätter. Där då är jag tillbaka till toabesök. Uh, jag tänker att vi ska börja i alla fall och försöka ta oss till det där stället. Där har vi traken. Fan, jag skulle ha tagit mig med där. Nu ska jag in och hämta hagel så man tittar på den så vi kan ha oturen att det finns ett tröst där på vägen när jag kommer köra. Bara för att det ska bli lite upp då. Jag behövde få av mig hörlurarna. Ni kommer höra mig ändå. Jag ska se. Jo, jag visar mig som han.
This is why I live here. Go ahead. Get as close as you want. Just don't touch it. See the cracks in the surface? It's limestone, notoriously unstable. These cave paintings aren't going to be here forever, but I've made it my mission to ensure that we do everything we can to keep them around for as long as possible. Kids like Josh need to learn their history, right? It's part of what it means to be human. Knowing you come from something else, someone else. We call it whakapapa. It means genealogy, but also to place in layers. And those layers link us all. Everything ends up in the ground, bird or human or rock or deer. Anyway, that's enough philosophizing from me. Let's get you out of here. I'm sure you've never been so happy to lay your eyes on the wonderful Kiwi weather. Stretch those legs. Nothing like wandering through a damp, cramped cave to give you a new lust for life. Right. I hope you're not too worn out now. More filming's on the table, but first, can I trouble you to take a little detour? Let me explain. The beech trees here form one of the finest examples of native forest in all of New Zealand. In no small part due to the efforts of our resident conservationist marama. We just had a mast year when they seed like crazy. And this means plenty of food for mice and rats, which in turn means plenty of food for other small pests. Beginning to see the problem? When the rats run out, those small mammals prey on native bird species, the pesky critters. We've used aerial 1080 poisoning to stave off the worst of them. But to slow their reintroduction, we need to get our hands dirty and lay down a few traps ourselves. It's time-sensitive work, and unfortunately, Marama's feeling a bit crook and had to stay home today. Can you take over for her? She's left them in a box near the target site. Conservation here is a constant tit-for-tat against these invasive mammal species. Our only indigenous mammals are 3 types of bats and some marine species. Everything else is a pest to a lesser or greater extent. Sometimes our methods can seem extreme. 1080 poisoning isn't without its naysayers, but it's one of the only tools we have to help protect the uniqueness of this place. Now, hunting helps too. I don't want to go back to the days of the helicopter wars, but having recreational hunters here year-round would go a very long way.
Åh! Det är som han säger, Anton. Alltså det är helt sjukt med kalkoner som är liksom diamond-nivå här. Jag tror jag går med hagel uppe faktiskt. Jag ska vara helt ärlig. För man vet aldrig vad som kan ske. Om man stiga framför en och så. Tja-la-la-la-la-la-la. Du vet att göra skit med Diamonds kalkoner här. Jag har sett ett examtal står från 9 till 11 och vi rullar in med Sveriges bästa lag. Jag visar upp bästa Sverige, Sverige, Sveriges bästa Sveriges bästa och vi är ju Sverige Sverige, 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 Sverige. Och vi jagar kalkonerna upp i Sveriges berg. Ba-da-da-da-da. Dan-da-dan-da-da-da-da-dam. Ba-ba-da-da-dam-bam-bam-bam. Ram-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Down, 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 down. Jag kan skjuta.
There's the box. 4 should do as long as you cover enough ground. Cutting-edge Kiwi technology, these. Self-resetting and all. That looks like as good a spot as any. Should be simple to set up. Just install the mount and click the trap body into place.
Vad som händer när jag sätter ut den här?
2 down, 2 to go. The birds will thank you for this. That's all of them. Top-notch conservation work, Eho. One final thing. You can take down the 1080 warning sign. Any animals that haven't already kicked the bucket should have metabolized it by now, so it's safe to hunt in the area again. Hold on just a second. Are you seeing what I'm seeing on the ground there? These tracks aren't particularly old, eh? I hadn't expected we'd be able to deter everyone, but it's not exactly an optimal time to go for a stroll in the bush. Oh, 1 second, Josh is ringing. Feel like checking out with their lead? Right, sorry about that. Where are they taking you?
Ja du. Jag följer det här spåret så får jag se vart jag tar mig. Ja, tydligen så får jag skjuta den med hagel. Aha. Finns tydligen ingen liksom viktklass eller det är en 70-90 kilo. Ja, jag följer spåret så får jag se vart jag hamnar. Jag har ingen aning om vart jag kommer hamna när jag följer.
Well, someone was clearly having a bad time of it. Munted, high,
Så de
both.
vill ju att jag ska gå. Ja, så får vi göra det då. Vänta, ska man ta ett fotografi? Ja, man ska följa efter spåren. Ja, följer vi efter fotospåren då.
What's that over there? This looks like it's right out of Resplendent Sword. Surely they didn't. Oh, where? Poor thing looks like it's been torn to bits. Is that a handmade arrow? And to top it all off, there's heavy rain forecast. Perfect bloody timing. There's an outpost not far. Why don't you take shelter there and see if there's any more clues as to what we're dealing with here? And it looks like they've made a spectacular exit.
Ja, den.
The stuff from the photograph. What's the appeal of this rubbish?
Take self at Tokyo. Cool house. Okej, vi ska inspektera insidan. Ja.
Must have left in a real hurry. Can you put the signs back up at least? think that's as good as you're going to get it looking?